Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. We've got a couple things we're going to do in the kitchen today. I have filled my daughter's freezer. I filled my son's order for stuff. So now we have been working on my freezer. And I'm going to do a couple things. My husband says, why can't we have pizza one of these nights? We're not going to order out pizza. Pizza is ungodly expensive right now. So I'm going to make pizza dough. And I'm going to make extra for the freezer. We're going to have pizza for dinner tonight. Plus I have canned chicken and vegetables in my pantry. That it's like a pot pie base. So I want to make some pie crust. Because I usually keep pie crust in my freezer. And I'm out. So we're going to make some pie crust too. And then I have got to cook some sausage. I want some sausage back into my freezer that's cooked. And we're going to cook these spaghetti squash because you can freeze spaghetti squash. So I'll get that part out of the way so that when we do our spaghetti squash spaghetti dinner, it's already, the hardest part's already done. And then we're going to do, I'm going to show you a real easy no-cook pizza sauce. Simple. So, with that being said, let's get busy. I have my thing over here. And you know what? I ordered coffee from Amazon. So that's going to be in a couple days. And I'm like out of coffee. So I'm going to whip together some tea real quick. Because I love tea. I just use plain water. I just heat it up in my pot here. I got a little electric kettle, a nice little gooseneck kettle, but this is just as fast, if not faster, than heating that up. So we're going to do that. Let's see, in my messy cabinet up here. My favorite tea is ginger. So I got me some ginger tea and my bowl. I'm going to put 2 of them in there. That one's out. I go through a lot of tea as well. This is a lemon ginger. This is good when you're not feeling well either. I like to keep it on hand. It's good stuff. Not that I'm sick. I'm not sick. I just love this stuff. So there. We got that ready to go. Alright. We toss this out. We're going to attempt to cut these, and I'm going to put them on this tray. I'm going to set my oven. I bake them at 400 and they bake for almost an hour, so we'll get that set. Alright, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is rough. I can't cut all the way through that stem. So we're going to break through that stem. Here we go. I'm going to cut this one. And then ooh, there we go. At least I got my fingers still. There we go. Beautiful. We got it. They're not necessarily even, but they're cut. It's the only hardest part of this is that. Now we're going to scrape all this out. I give this to my chickens. Okay. We can get these in the oven because these will take the longest. And I always drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. Salt in each one. Use a little bit of pepper in each one. And that's it. And then I bake them. And what I do, I'll bake them, well, I'll bake them right side up like this, and if they start getting real watery, I'll dump it out and I'll flip them upside down. So I know that it isn't preheated yet, but we're just going to stick them in there anyway. And those are ready to go. Mr. Wayna is up at the store. He's getting me some fresh pork sausage from our butcher. So before I do the pie dough and the pizza, we're going to do a pizza crust. We're going to do that last. We are going to do, we got the spaghetti squash in. We're going to do a no-cook, I'm going to show you a no-cook pizza sauce. Very easy. Okay, this is a no-cook. This is made with tomato paste. And I'm telling you, it's wonderful. And you can make extra and freeze it if you like pizza. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have 2 extra pizza dough that's going to go in the freezer. I'm going to freeze the other half of this sauce. And with this, I use Italian seasoning, rosemary, and parsley. And I like the Italian seasoning because it's already got the basil and the oregano and everything already in it. It's wonderful. So we're going to get this open. Hello.
Oh. Hello, friends. I got you this. You didn't say it.
Oh, mozzarella, thank you. And my sausage. That's good stuff. All right, we got that. Put those down in there. Okay, so we're going to use 3 cups of water. Oh, let's see. We're going to do 3 cups of water in that. Oh, you are a honey. I need a bigger bowl too. Oh, I got my chocolate. 3 cups of water. Where are we at with this one? I don't like this one because you can't see it. It's really faded. Okay, there we go. But we're going to need to put that in a different bowl. So once I get that mixed up, I'm going to put that in a different bowl. I'm going to set my little piece of chocolate there with my tea. That's fantastic. We're going to get this mixed up. Remove these so you can see. We're going to get that sausage cooking too. This just takes a little bit to mix this up. That's all. This is a double batch. When I edit my video, I will put the recipe in there for a single batch. And then you can double it if you want. Maybe I won't need I don't think I'm going to need another bowl, but I want to get some of my garlic out, because I do want garlic in there. I love that juice. Let's see. We're going to do teaspoons. We're going to do about 3 teaspoons of garlic. Maybe 4, because like 1 teaspoon is equivalent to 1 garlic clove. At least so they say. But you can never have too much garlic anyway. So we got our garlic in there. We are going to do... Okay, oh, we need olive oil, and I don't want to forget that, so I better get that now. We're going to need a 1/3 cup of that. Yep, 1/3 cup of olive oil. That needs to go in there. Now we can do a tablespoon, nice hefty tablespoon of my Italian seasoning. We're going to do a nice big old handful of parsley, because that's beautiful in there too. Probably a 1/2 tablespoon of parsley. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of rosemary. So there we have it. And then we're going to do some salt and pepper. Nice big bunch of salt, probably a teaspoon. We like pepper, probably a teaspoon. We like pepper. I'm going to do probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay? So we're going to mix this, and I got just enough room in this bowl. I'm going to get this mixed up. And you don't have to cook this. You don't have to heat it up. Nothing. You just mix it up. I just store it in the fridge till I use it. After tonight, after we make our pizza, then I'll put the rest in the freezer. Wonderful. Okay, that's good. That's all there is to it. We're going to put the lid on this. Oh, it smells wonderful. I suppose we could taste it. just to make sure we don't need anything more in it. Because it is a no cook. We don't need anything in that. That's wonderful. Man, you could just pour that over noodles, you know. I love pizza sauce, especially when I make my own. That's it. That's all there is to that one. It's going in the fridge. All right, that's done. I'm going to clean this up and we'll move on to the next. Okay, we're going to get this sausage cooking. I love this stuff. My butcher, our local butcher, makes this fresh. It doesn't, well, I better cut this because it's not going to come out of there. It's sticky. It sticks to the plastic bag. Okay, so this is what we'll do. Just like that. Throw this out. This is the best sausage ever. If you have a local butcher that makes it, oh, you're spoiled like I am. I never buy, you know, like the Jimmy Dean sausage or anything like that because his is just fantastic. And beside of that, my head's cut off. I'm sorry. And beside of that, I could make my own breakfast sausage. So if he didn't make it, I definitely would make my own. All right, we're just going to let that cook. This is a nice recipe. Very easy. I need my little rubber, whatever it is. It's nice for a leveler. We're going to put 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour in here. Okay? There we go. 2.5 cups. Now we're going to do more. We're only doing one batch at a time. Okay, and then to this, and I do it all in my mixer. You can mix, or my food processor, and you, by all means, can do this by hand in a large bowl with, you know, a pastry knife. Doesn't matter. But you want nice cold butter. Make sure your butter is good and cold. My goodness. There we go. Sometimes you get that butter and it all sticks together. So we're going to cut this in little chunks. And try not to touch it any more than you have to because it warms up easy and you don't want that. So we're going to put all this in here. I put everything in here except for the water. And I get it mixing. You don't even have to put the water in there. You know, you can mix up your pie crust into crumbles before you would add the water to it. And you can freeze it just like that. That way when you go to make it, you can add your water to it then. So, that works too. But pie crust freezes beautifully. I love having homemade pie crust in my freezer. And right now I don't have any in there. So we're working on that. Okay, now I want a teaspoon of sugar. And I also want a half a teaspoon of salt. So a teaspoon of sugar. out because we're going to use that again. And a half a teaspoon of salt. And the sausage is doing good. Let me get this mixed up a little bit more. I just got it down real low because I'm just cooking it as I go, and it's going to cook a little slower, that way it won't burn. It's looking good. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to put the lid on here. We also got, I got about a half a cup of water because it's going to be anywhere between 4 and 8 tablespoons of water. So we're just going to pulse this. And you want it to look like cornmeal. And that's perfect. Those bits in there. Let me give it a couple more, and then we'll start adding water to it. Let's move this stuff aside. Because we're going to have to put it down on the counter and form a disc. Alright, we're going to add ice cold water to this, a little at a time. And you only need enough till it forms a nice ball. There you go. See how it's coming together? Perfect. We use probably 6 tablespoons. So we're going to just set that right out here on the counter because that is perfect. See how that comes together? Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to cut that in half, and there's still chunks of butter in there. That is gorgeous. Okay. We're going to make 2 nice discs. We're going to wrap these in plastic wrap. Squish them down a little bit so they make a nice disc. Nice rounded disc. And there's one. Just wrap it around there. For goodness sakes, it's sticking. There we go. Spread that out a little bit. Makes a nice disc. And there we go. We got these 2. And then I'll show you what I do with them. Because you got them wrapped separate, you can just set them right in these freezer bags. And I'll put all 4 of them in there because I'm going to do 2 more. And that's wonderful for your freezer. I'll show you too. Oh, I don't know exactly when it will be, but I will show you how I do my, I think I have a video on it, my chicken pot pie. I love canning the base for my chicken pot pie. That stuff is wonderful. Okay, there is, we're going to have to get a little more cold water in here. I got a little chunk of ice in here. Okay, I'm only gonna do 4 of these for my freezer. So I don't need any more flour. But I am gonna need a teaspoon of sugar. A tablespoon of sugar. That's something, isn't it, right? And a half a teaspoon of salt. We're going to need 2 sticks of cold butter. Okay? Beautiful. Just real quick before we start that other one. That's doing really good. I know John's waiting, Mr. Wayna. His name is John, by the way. He's waiting for this to get done because he wants some sausage. He's already been out here a couple times checking on it. Okay, so let's get cutting this up. I'm just going to cut them real thin. And when we get this done, we'll check on our spaghetti squash, because that should be close to being done pretty soon. I almost should have used my bigger knife. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I'll set that aside. We got everything else we need in there. We're just gonna just pulse it. Just till it's plenty. That's beautiful. Okay, so now just need a little bit more. Yep, that's all good. Perfect. This makes a really beautiful flaky pie crust. I know a lot of recipes call for shortening, but I don't use shortening because this just makes such a beautiful pie crust. I love the flaky. There we go. That one's good. We can put that away. Actually, we can put this over here because that's going to be cleaned for our This one's got a few crumbs on it, but it'll come together beautifully. See that? This come together nice. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna, oh, I shouldn't have threw my knife out. We're going to cut this in half, make it into a ball, make it into a disc. Perfect. Okay, and we're going to smash it around, form it nicely. Perfect. There's one. Then we've got 4 for the freezer. And it doesn't take long to rub them together, so if you're going to make them, you might as well make a few and stock your freezer, and then, you know, it saves a lot of time when you want to make a pie, anything like that. It saves a lot of time. Okay, so we got all 4 of these done. These are beautiful and ready for the freezer. Perfect. Nice, hey? So I'll set these over here. Mix this up. I think this is done, so we can turn this off and let this cool down. That needs to be really cool before I put it in the freezer bags. And then I'm going to keep a little bit of this out for our pizza tonight. Ooh, that's hot. I want to check it. I just poke it with the knife. Yeah, that's doing good. That looks like it's just about done. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to clean up my mess, friends. And the only thing we've got left to do, you want some sausage?
Yes, please.
The only thing we'll have left to do is our pizza dough and our pizzas for dinner.
That's enough.
That's enough?
Hi, Frank.
There you go, honey. All right. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up and bring it back when I'm ready to do the pizza dough. Okay, friends, this is ready to go in our bag. So we are just going to fill it. Try not to make too big of a mess. Maybe I'll fill it on this side. I got my nice bag holder. My other ones are on the way. They'll be here on Friday. I'm going to put all this in here because you can break it up and use however much you want. And this is nice. Let's see. I want to leave some of this out for our pizza tonight. So I'm going to put some in this bucket right here. Actually, I might as well just do the rest in here. And that's for our pizza tonight. Perfect. That will go in the fridge. And this one, beautiful. We're going to seal this up. Get all the air out of it as much as possible. And this one is ready for the freezer. And I just try and lay it flat. I try and flatten it out. You can't see that too well. See, I try and flatten it all out because then it's easier to break up. So we're going to set that over here. That's ready for the freezer. Now we're going to get our pizza dough going because that's the last on our list. Our spaghetti squash is done too. Beautiful. Look at that. We'll let that cool. And while we're making our pizza dough, we'll let that cool off. And then we'll be able to freeze that. Beautiful. That's really nice. I like making these fresh. Now, if I was making it for dinner, I would save these, the skin on it, and make a little boat out of it because it's wonderful to serve your spaghetti squash back into that as a dish. Beautiful. Okay, friends, we are ready to do our pizza dough. I've got dry butterfingers again today. Let's see. recipe right there. All right, so you're more than welcome to mix this by hand. I have arthritis in my thumbs, and it's very hard for me to knead bread, so I let my beautiful friend here do all my work for me. I'm making a double batch. Again, I'll put the recipe for all these under the description box. So I'm going to add my water. And to that, 3 cups of good warm water. I'm going to add a tablespoon and a half of yeast. I'm also going to add, where is this? I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar. And a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And that's what I'm going to start with. This makes a beautiful pizza dough. Absolutely. Okay. We're going to give that a good mix. Okay, now to that, we are going to use 6.5 cups of flour because this is a double batch. And each batch, this will make 4 pizza crusts. Each batch does 4 or 2. And I'm doing a double batch. I'm going to start with 5, like 5.5, and then I'll have an extra cup if I need it. Okay? All right, so we're just going to let that start mixing. Don't let your mixer go above 2. You'll burn it right out. And make sure you don't forget the salt. We need 2 teaspoons of salt. I almost forgot. Salt is the easiest thing to forget, I'm telling you. But we need 2 teaspoons. If you forget it, it won't hurt it. It just will be like tasteless. So you want to make sure you get your salt in there. Perfect. My dough is still a little on the sticky side, so I'm going to knead it a little bit by hand and add just a little bit of flour. So I put a little extra flour on my board. It's beautiful dough though. Gorgeous. Didn't need much, just a little bit. Oh, this dough is soft, supple, it's beautiful. What a beautiful recipe for dough. Look at that. See how that is? That's nice. That's gorgeous. Okay, we're going to put this in a circle. It don't need to be kneaded anymore. It's beautiful. We're going to divide this in half and then in quarters, because each one of these is a pizza. There we go. That's gorgeous dough, friends. All right, that's how easy that is. Now, I like to wrap mine in plastic wrap because I put them in bags together and I don't want them to stick together. So I'm going to oil just a little bit of these tops, just a little bit. And this one of them is going to go in a bowl and rise for our pizza tonight. Okay, so that's all I do with that. Now we're going to put these, I'll finish wrapping them first before I get that bag out. I just put them there. Then I rub the plastic around down there. Beautiful. And when you want to use this after you take it out of the freezer, all you gotta do is let it sit in the fridge and thaw out, then put it, or let it sit on the counter in a bowl, and it will thaw out and it will rise beautifully. Oh my God, Butterfingers. There we go. So there we go. And that's going to be beautiful. This is going to go in a bowl. Let's see here. I want to give this a little more oil. I'm going to put this one around here. That one's going to stay right there. Let me get one of my little shower caps. I love using these. All right, this is going to sit on the counter over here. Wait for that to be done. All right, friends. So now where is my, oh, there it is. I'm going to take my bag here. I should be able to get all three of these in there. And these are going to go directly into the freezer. And those are beautiful. And I did. I got all three of them in there. Perfect. And there, I ain't going to be able to get it. I'm not going to be able to get that air out of there. That is our pizza dough. Let me get this cleaned up because the last thing we got is I got to package that up for the freezer and then we're done. Okay, friends. We are going to scrape these out. These are all ready. They're easy to work with now. They're nice and cool. And we'll scrape them all out here. It's just coming right out beautifully. My chickens will have a ball of that. That is gorgeous. Absolutely. come out of there beautifully. Then we'll have some really nice convenient items in our freezer. That's beautiful. This makes the best spaghetti. I love spaghetti squash for spaghetti noodles. I love it. We haven't had it in a while, so it's nice to have this in here because it'll be good for a quick meal. So there. I wanted to scrape it all in this bowl and then I can break it up. And divide it evenly between these two bags. Oh, I got my I'm just using a regular Ziploc bag this time because I'm out of my all my reusable ones are currently working. So this will work. We're going to divide this in half as close as we can get. I could have probably used a quart bag, but that's all right. I think I could use a little more here. There. Beautiful. That way all you got to do is put your spaghetti together, your spaghetti sauce. Heat this up in your oven. You can even mix it in with your spaghetti sauce once it's thawed out. Just heat it in your oven and it will be beautiful. Don't waste any of that. There we go. Okay, all I gotta do is label this and get this stuff in the freezer and we are good to go. And we have did everything on my list today. Get as much air out as you can. And again, I like to lay these flat, somewhat flat, because then they thaw out faster. Same with this one. Get the air out. And lay them flat. And then it's all seasoned too. It's got salt and pepper on it, a little olive oil in it. Those are beautiful. So there you have it, friends. We got quite a bit of stuff done. I need to get my my pizza dough in the oven. It's starting to rise, or in the freezer. It's starting to rise. We've got our pie dough. That's going to go in there. We got one pizza dough for our dinner tonight, and we got our squash, spaghetti squash, and we've got our sausage all ready for the freezer. And we also got our beautiful no-cook spaghetti or pizza sauce. So there you have it, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. We had fun in the kitchen today, and we got some nice convenient meals or nice convenient items in our freezer to help make mealtime quick and easy. So there you have it, friends. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.